64%, the highest level in years, and the major recession warning. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. All right, now in this video, I do want to share with you the details of a couple new reports that were released showing the finances of the average American and the major warning signs that are flashing on a major recession this year. Let's get into it and talk through all the details as we have a lot to cover. However, really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video, as it's totally free to do so, and because we are rapidly approaching 500,000 subscribers right here on the channel, and it would mean a ton to me if you hit that subscribe button right down below the video, as I'm here for you every single day, and I truly want to help you out in any way that I can, as that is my dedication, my commitment, and my promise to you and everybody right here in the community to continuously watch all this information and to break it down into these short videos during this very busy, confusing, and very uncertain time that we're currently living through. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please subscribe down below, and let's get into it and talk about the details of these reports and what all of these numbers and statistics mean and how this is flashing a major warning sign on a recession this year. All right, so let me buzz through all of these details here. Like I said, there's a bunch of different numbers here, a bunch of statistics that I want to share with you, but it's all going to paint a very, very clear picture, and I think all of us will recognize, yeah, that doesn't look like a picture that actually makes sense right now. All right, so let me buzz through all the details. A couple new reports, like I said, were released, and here are the details of that. So this report is showing 27% of people right now are digging into their savings just to cover basic necessities. In fact, of the 27% of Americans that are digging into savings right now, 54% of those 27% are saying that they are digging into their savings to cover basic necessities like rent, food, groceries, things like this that we all need on a regular basis. So again, that's pretty big right there. Basically, what it's showing is that incomes are not keeping up with the real cost of living. Now, is that a surprise? No. We all know this, right? This is not new information. However, these statistics are updated information, but basically it's showing that the incomes, whether somebody's living on an earned income, you know, the 9-to-5 grind, whether it's a fixed income, literally it doesn't matter what the income is coming from. It just continues to show that people are living basically paycheck to paycheck because, or even less than that, because incomes are simply not keeping up with how much prices are rising on literally everything, just like we continue to see with all of these latest inflation reports, where inflation is still going up. Food inflation is still going up 0.5 percentage point month over month. Rents are still going up 0.7% month over month. Again, this is an equation that is not making sense right now, right? All right, well, the report also goes on to show 64% of Americans right now are living paycheck to paycheck. And this is not just low income, middle income, higher income people. It's everybody across the board. It could be somebody earning 6 figures. It could be earning somebody earning 50 grand. It could be somebody earning $20,000. Doesn't matter. According to the levels here and according to the statistics, 64% of people of all income levels are living paycheck to paycheck right now. So that is a huge percent. That is basically 2 out of every 3 people walking around the streets right now living paycheck to paycheck. Again, is that sustainable, and is that a normal number? No. That is very high. In fact, this is the highest percentage that we've seen in many, many years. In fact, the high watermark that we saw a few years ago was sitting at 61%. Okay, that was a couple years ago, sitting at 61%. Now we're at 64%. Again, craziness, right? So, yeah, these are some big numbers. Now, the reports also go on to show that 58% of people right now do not have an extra $1,000 in the event of an unexpected expense. Well, let me throw this out there. What costs $1,000 these days? Pretty much everything, right? Prices have gone up so much on literally everything. Labor costs have gone up so much on literally everything. If something happened, let's just say that a car breaks down, something goes on a car, something like that, that's going to be $1,000 easy. You know what I mean? Like even an oil change these days is getting very expensive. When it comes down to it, between parts and labor, stuff like that, it gets to be very, very expensive, right? So let me give you a quick personal example. A couple weeks ago, I had a furnace go out, okay? I thought, oh, this would be a super easy fix here. I tried to diagnose and try to fix the problem myself. I looked at it and thought, you know what? I cannot fix this problem myself. I don't know what this is going to be, okay? Here's what it comes down to. It was a furnace filter that happened to be a little bit too, dirty. Let's just say that much, okay? The furnace couldn't breathe properly because the furnace filter hadn't been changed in a couple months. My mistake, didn't know. And again, it basically burned out a little part in the furnace. I think it's called like a limit switch. I think it was what it was called. Anyway, long story short, I couldn't fix it myself. I tried to do it, and I thought, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just gonna have somebody call and fix this for me. $500. Craziness. The little part was probably a $10 part. They charged me almost $400 for the part. Craziness, you know what I mean? And then the labor on top of that, all in all, it was $500 by the time the guy left. And it took him like 30 minutes to fix the thing. He walked in, he's like, oh yeah, I see what the problem is. Fixed it up. He's like, all right, here's your bill, $500. I was like, you kidding me right now? That's what it is. My point is, labor and parts are so incredibly expensive right now. So I can tell you this much, I was not too happy, okay? I was not excited that day. But anyway, it was my fault because the furnace filter had not been changed in a couple weeks or whatever happened, even month and a half or whatever it was, whatever the deal was. But either way, my mistake. So again, my point is things are incredibly expensive right now. So even with that report and the statistic that I shared right there, 58% of people cannot afford a $1,000 unexpected expense. And again, going back to the car analogy, it wouldn't take much. One simple thing to go out on a car would easily be, with labor and parts, easily $1,000. I mean, what's a set of tires these days? A set of tires is $600 by the time you're out the door. That's just for tires alone, right? Well, guess what? They're probably going to find some other things in there as well, right? So just a lot of different details here that I wanted to share with you. But this is what's going on, and these are the statistics based on the finances of the average American going out there right now. Now, what are the major recession warning signs that are being flashed? Well, according to the reports and according to what everybody is talking about and according to what I'm reading about this, the numbers and the statistic that I just shared with you a second ago as far as the finances of the average American right now, this is flashing a major warning sign because guess what? At some point, the American people are going to be completely tapped out, as in credit cards will be maxed out. We won't be able to have any more savings because the savings has been depleted, which by the way, the majority of people out there don't even have any money in savings, right? We're just talking about the people that actually have a little bit of savings and the statistics on those people. However, a huge percentage of the population doesn't even have any savings at all. Like no savings, zero savings whatsoever. So long story short is that what the reports are suggesting is that as a result of all this, consumers are being tapped out right now. Money is literally being 100% spent right now. Balances are being floated on credit cards because nobody has any money. Savings are being depleted. Incomes are not keeping up with the real cost of living. Do you see how this picture is painting a very kind of gloom and doom type of situation? Now, again, I am not here to instill fear in anybody. I'm not here to paint this old cloudy picture saying, oh no, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. I'm not saying that at all. I'm simply saying we've got to look at all the warning signs here, and this is what it's showing. These are what the statistics are showing. So if this is what we can see is coming, should we try to be prepared a little bit, or at least we're not going to be shocked when the day comes that all of a sudden the economy falls off a cliff? Well, we're probably not going to be too shocked considering we've been talking about this for a very long time. Now, again, too, I want to throw this out there. There's many times that I come back and I share with you the economic data that's being released, right? So every so often as we get that economic data, I come back in videos and I share it with you here on the channel so that everybody can stay in tune with what's going on. However, this economic data that's being released is lagging information, okay? So we've got like real time, right? So we're here right now in real time. However, the economic data that's released, generally it's delayed by about a month, 2 months, even some cases, it's delayed even a quarter. So a lot of times when this economic data comes out, we can look at it and say, oh, it's not that bad. Well, guess what? That's from a month ago. That's from 2 months ago. That's from 3 months ago. What is going on right now today, right? It's just getting worse and worse as we continue to go on because as prices continue to increase as a result of inflation, guess what? Is that making it easier or more difficult for the average American? Well, I think we can easily see from these numbers and the statistics that I shared with you just a few seconds ago, it's by default getting harder unless incomes are going to be adjusted for that. Well, I think we can all ask ourselves, are incomes being adjusted for all of this? No, not really, right? Maybe a little bit, but it's not fixing the entire problem. So basically what this do is it's basically just setting everything up for a collision course. You know what I mean? So basically people are running out of money, debts are being racked up, the inflation is still going up, the Federal Reserve continues to raise interest rates, causing more, as in basically it's costing people more money to pay down any debts that they have on credit cards, things like this, and the vicious cycle continues. You know what I mean? So yeah, anyway, I saw this here in a couple different reports that I want to come back and share with you here in this video so you can see what is actually going on. And these are the statistics, these are the numbers that are being reported, and this is what they're saying about the financial situations of the vast majority of Americans out there right now. So I don't know, when I read these reports like this and I see these numbers, when we're hitting record high levels of credit card debt, just under $1 trillion, when we see 64%, almost 2/3 of the population living paycheck to paycheck, 58% of people not being able to cover a $1,000 unexpected expense. You can see here all of these numbers coming together. We can see it's painting a picture of, wow, this isn't good. This is not good. People should not be this financially strapped. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of times, a lot of people kind of struggle with money. That's just kind of the nature of the game for the most people out there. But it should not be this extreme, right? In most cases, most people generally have a little bit set aside, a couple $100, a little bit here and there. Generally, savings are being held at, static, as in they're not being dipped into. Generally, savings are being built over time, a little bit here and there, $20 a week, $100 a month, whatever it happens to be, a little bit here and there. Generally, savings are going up. Mostly, savings should not be depleted at the pace that they are being depleted right now. Again, you kind of see the picture here that's being painted. Yeah, right? So depends on who you listen to. And again, I always take both sides of the story as well. I don't want to be one-sided here. I never want to look at just one report. I always want to look at all of the different pieces of information coming out. I also like to look at the positive information that's coming out as well, saying, things are good. Spending is up. The economy still looks strong. The unemployment rate is going down. Jobs are being created. That's all good news as well. But like I've described in other videos, sometimes in situations like this, good news is actually bad news. And what I mean by that is when the economy creates huge numbers of jobs, what does that mean? It simply gives the Federal Reserve the right and basically the temptation to raise interest rates even more aggressively. So that's what I'm saying about that. So on an economic standpoint, looks good. Jobs are being created. A lot of people are getting jobs. A lot of more people are paying in through taxes. And you know what I mean? All that kind of stuff that we've talked about before. But when we look at it, we think, this just means the Federal Reserve might get more aggressive on us, raising interest rates, making it more tough for everybody. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's leave it there for now, but these are the statistics. These are the numbers that I wanted to share with you. And again, we'll just have to see. Only time is going to tell on this whole thing, right? Again, we've got people out there taking both sides of the story. Some people saying, oh no, we're going to see a major economic boom this year. And we see other people on the other side saying, oh no, we're setting up for a really, really disastrous 2023. But again, I always like to say, only time will tell. I mean, realistically, that is the only thing that'll be able to tell us, right? We can look at all the charts, we can look at all the statistics, we can look at everything we possibly want, but realistically, the only thing that's going to be giving us the real accurate information is time, watching the whole thing play out in real time. So again, I'll continue to be here for you to watch all this stuff play out. As I get more information, of course, I'll be right here for you breaking it down. But generally, when I come across these reports, I like to break them down in a video just like this so you can see what is actually going on. Because if you're somebody that's struggling right now with money, please remember this much. You are not alone. In fact, you're not alone by any means, okay? The vast majority of people are having a pretty hard time right now. So, of course, I don't wish this on anybody. I don't want anybody to struggle. But unfortunately, this is the reality of the United States and pretty much globally right now for a lot of people. But we're mostly talking about right here in the U.S. Either way, I'm here for you. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet so you don't miss any videos going forward. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, enjoy your day, and I'll catch you again later in the next one.